What did you do to our suits, Gary?
No, yours is fine.
Oh my lord. Are they eating our wetsuit?
Should I like chug it?
Yeah, I don't know what you should do. Just don't bring it inside the house. Oh my god. Looks like there's eggs or something down there, bro. Did you spill food by our wetsuits? Made the unlikely decision to go to an island while it's raining and just pretty gnarly outside. Check out this jackfruit though. What the heck is that thing? I think that's a jackfruit. Pretty cool tree. Holy moly. Oh
The
boy.
fins, right?
Yeah, they're in that bag, right?
Yeah, I just want to make sure.
You better be in there, Gary. I hope you put them in there, buddy. I think you go first.
This place has a weird stench.
Look at how high the water level is. Get in there.
Dá pra pôr lá dentro, irmão. Só pensa aí porque eu sei que ela não morre. Não, pera aí, deixa eu arrumar. Se ela fica virada assim pra cima é melhor, porque não tá muito cheia, começa a cair os ovos tudo.
What's up, bro? Blair.
Samuel vai entrar.
Bruno on the back. That's where we're headed. The island. What? The left right there.
Mas tá aqui dentro, né, minha mochila?
These little wedgies.
Vai ali, eu levo.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Bruno. Is that the tripod? All right, Gary. How are we feeling after today?
Feeling a little depressed. I caught a couple waves at the wave pool. Or I caught waves at the wave pool and I felt good about them.
Just good.
No, like the wedge barrel was pretty insane.
Hey, you made it out of barrels.
Yeah.
The first time of the trip, dude. Congrats.
I didn't make it out of ocean barrels, but I made it out of man-made wave.
Made perfect barrel. It's really good, Gary. We're so happy for you, buddy. We were just talking a minute ago about how Gary has been feeling a little depressed about his performance on this trip. I had to put it in a different perspective for you. And with skimming Sanunga for your first time ever, that is a very challenging wave. And I know several people who have gone there and not been able to connect a wave, a cider to a wave. So the wave is much more difficult than it seems. And a lot of the footage that you guys see on the vlogs are the 1% of videos that we made the wave, right? Like, think about how much footage we go through, and it's just delete, because we go out to the cider and we don't actually make it, right? So I think on video, the wave looks a lot easier than it is. And for your first time and skimming with a bunch of locals, Lucas, myself, like there's a lot of people that you have to like navigate in order to get the right wave.
Yeah.
And just knowing your wave selection.
My wave selection's good. It's getting better.
Okay, no, it's getting better.
Okay, it's not good. Yeah. It's good enough.
Making small improvements.
What happened was the time that Sanunga was easy, it was super crowded. And then it was like World War II with the locals and everyone.
Yeah.
And then
it was pretty much World War II.
It was literally a free-for-all. Like, for me to come out with a dent in my skimboard is...
Yeah, not a dent in your head. Yeah, there would be like 6 people running for one wave that night.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
So it was super crowded on the easy days, and then when it was hard, you and Lucas would pretty much get the perfect ones that would which makes sense, because like if you see a perfect one, you're gonna go for it, because like looking, like even being a good skimboarder, like when someone's not catching waves, you're gonna go because you're not counting on them to catch it, because they haven't been catching many waves the whole session. Yeah.
Not only are you gonna go for it when you see a good one coming, but you're gonna go for it if there's 4 other people running for it too.
Yeah.
And you have to, the Brazilian way, this is just from my time of being here, is like, there's no etiquette here with like trading waves, and you've realized that by now.
Yeah.
But it's basically like, who's the gnarliest and who's gonna outrun everyone else to get to that cider? Who's gonna go the earliest they could possibly go, like to hop over that wave and get out to the cider?
Yeah.
And it's like survival of the fittest. It's quite literally survival of the fittest.
Yeah. And it's pretty impressive when I see it mostly in you, when you're going with 4 people and you're either going super late and like kind of following them, and it's already a super hard wave as is.
Yeah.
And then you're the one that survives it.
Yeah.
That's like a full-on like sport in itself.
Yeah. It's pretty much the most entertaining thing to watch at Sanunga. There's like 6 people going for one wave, and there's like people eating shit in front of you, and you're like almost running them over, but you're barely missing them. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And then
you get on the cider and you're like, I'm a Sanunga survivor. I'm on this thing.
Yeah, we've been joking around at being a Sanunga cider survivor, because this cider is so sketchy at times. Like, it can just be, especially when there's 6 skimboards on it, that gets a little out of control. And then as far as the wave pool goes, I think it was your first time riding a wave pool, right?
Wave pool.
First time riding a wave pool.
But it was the best wave pool in the world.
Yeah. And probably, I would say, one of the easiest wave pools in the world.
That was super easy.
Yeah, and you got lots of tries. We had 2.5 hours there. How many waves do you think you caught in 2.5 hours? I'd say at least 40.
I probably tried 7 waves on the skim, and I made 1. And the other times it felt like I tried 40, but really I was trying like 6 or whatever. And that was like so frustrating. And I was like, all right, I'd rather just make the wave.
Yeah,
you know, surf it.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's a thing that like is in your mind where when you're on a skimboard on that wave, the possibilities are endless pretty much.
Yeah, yeah.
And what's funny is that like on the car ride there to the wave pool, I was like, okay, alley-oop, and then get back on the shoulder, and then, you know, bust a straight air or something. I was like putting all these combos in my head. The only wave I caught on the skim was like the point break one where you did like a couple turns.
Yeah, yeah. It's really challenging to paddle a skimboard, and at the end of the day, if you don't have a lot of practice paddling a skimboard into waves, doing that at the wave pool is not easy. Doing it in general is not easy. You're basically swimming, and by the end of the session, I was exhausted from just having to paddle the skimboard.
Yeah.
And then you paddle the catch surf, and you're like, whoa, I feel like I'm free. Like, we're paddling 4-foot catch surfboards and 4 or 5 or whatever, 4 or 6, and the things feel like they're like huge, you know?
Yeah.
So it's nice to challenge yourself with trying to stand up on a skimboard because anything else feels way freaking easier. And you'll get it. It's gonna take some practice, but
what I noticed about the wave pool is like when you're paddling for the wave on the skim, it sucks you back kind of like a slab almost. And I felt that it like buries my tail a little bit. But like when you're paddling on it, you look like you're just floating on top of the water.
Yeah, that's challenging for sure. It is weird because unlike an ocean wave, you're sitting in this flat pool, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the pool drops down.
Yeah.
And when it drops down, that doesn't happen in the ocean, you know?
Exactly.
You like feel like you are going below sea level for a minute before paddling into the wave. So it's definitely a little bit different than an ocean wave, but
ocean wave is just flat and then you get
picked up by it. Yeah. This one you're like getting dropped down, then picked up.
That's what
and you better freaking paddle your ass off, or else you're getting left in the dust.
Yeah.
Overall, Gary, you're doing pretty good. First time at Sonoma, first time
wave
pool, and mad props to you because I'd say you're doing good for your first time.
First time bringing you on a trip.
Yeah, that is true. But now I feel like I'm just babysitting. No.
All right, Gary. Good.